The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, and All Elite Wrestling making their first ever stop here in Vancouver tonight. It's AEW Collision at Rogers Arena. The soon-to-be 43-year-old is a veteran of the squared circle. He's entertained wrestling fans around the world. And tonight, bit of a home game for Danielson, who was born and raised down the I-5 in Aberdeen, Washington. So who knows, maybe we'll see Bryan in a Kraken jersey today, or maybe he'll go full heel mode and sport an Oilers jersey. We're pleased to welcome the American Dragon to the morning show. Good morning, Bryan. Can we call this AEW Vancouver debut a bit of a home game for you? And how does wrestling up here in Canada compare to some of the other destinations around the world that you've wrestled in?
Oh, well, so it does feel like a home game for me, but even more so, Vancouver's own Kyle O'Reilly is getting a huge shot for the TNT Championship tonight. I mean, it could be a wonder, despite the Canucks loss last night, it could be a great night for Vancouver sports fans tonight. But yeah, it's you can expect a lot of energy. It's a lot of fun. You go there, it's like, Canadian wrestling fans are some of the best wrestling fans in the world. And, they get so into it. They're so energetic. They're very vociferous in their cheering. So, yeah, it should be a great event.
Hey, Bryan, you've said that in the past that 2024 is going to be your final year of full-time wrestling. I think wrestling fans want to say no and say yes to more wrestling from you. How much of that is due to the toll that it has taken on your body over the years?
Yeah, a lot of it is that, last year I had 3 major injuries. I tore 2 tendons in my shoulder last March, then I broke my arm in June, and then I had 2 fractures in my orbital bone in October. And so it's like, oh man, I'm getting old, and these things are starting to add up. But another thing is that I really want to be able to spend more time with my kids while they're still young. I have a daughter who just turned 7 on Thursday, and then my son will turn 4 in the summer. And so yeah, be there for those times where they're still excited to see their daddy.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about being a family man, a husband, a father, but also somebody who has greater interests outside of what you do in the ring, because you're so good in that as well. I know you care about the environment. We live in a beautiful part of the world. How much do you want to experience more of that life, even though you absorb some of it, but maybe not as much as you'd like to because you're so committed to your profession?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I find my parents taught me. It's not like this is not something that you just teach your kids. It's something that you do with them. It's that you teach them to love nature, and you do that by having fun with them and going on these experiences with them in nature. Like my dad and I would go on 20-mile hikes and that sort of thing, where we camped, in a tent up on the mountain and that sort of thing. And I want to be able to do more of those things with my kids, like on the weekends, like on a Saturday, like today, I'm here in Vancouver wrestling, which makes me so happy. But, later, my new priorities will be going out with my kids and doing things with them out in nature, teaching them to love nature, all that sort of thing.
Okay, so the seawall is a beautiful walk, but I'm wondering what a game day looks like for the American Dragon. When do you go from being Bryan Danielson, the guy who loves being outside, to the American Dragon who straps on his wrestling boots, laces them up, and then goes into a different persona? So
it really starts to happen probably about 45 minutes after I put on my gear. When I put on my gear, I'm still, I put on my spandex battle jammies and I get, I'm trying to get ready to fight. But it still takes me probably 30 to 45 minutes after I put on my gear to where I really feel like, okay, I'm ready to smash somebody. Like if you were to talk to me right now, I'm like, oh, kind, gentle Bryan Danielson. But then about 45 minutes after I put on my gear, it's like, okay, let's headbutt somebody.
I got to ask you, what's the best part about your job? And at the end of the day, when fans leave an AEW event or wherever you're wrestling around the world, what do you want us to take from your performance?
Mostly, I don't actually ever expect anybody to take anything from it. I just hope people enjoy it, right? I actually do it selfishly because I love to do it, and people, I think people can see that. People can see how much fun I have doing this thing that I love. But one of the things that that wrestling inspired me as a fan, and especially coming to the live events and experiencing it there, is that there's a sense of camaraderie when you go with your friends or you go with your family. I mean, my dad talked about the first wrestling event he took me and my sister to till the day he died, right? So it's like, that's what I want fans to take away when you come to these events. One, they're fun, they're exciting, but I hope that when they come with their friends, with their family, that they just have a great time that they'll remember for the rest of their lives.
Well, listen, you've had a great career. I hope it continues for a while longer. Stay healthy, enjoy Vancouver, and have a great match tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much.